Hi Angela, so we're here at IHIF in your mock-up of a new Kimpton hotel, and you've just brought the brand to Europe with the announcement of the first property in Amsterdam. Can you tell us why you decided to come to Europe and what your plans are for the brand here?
Well, first of all, it's fantastic to be here in Berlin. I mean, we have fantastic weather and a record number of people in Berlin for this conference, so it's wonderful to be able to announce our first Kimpton outside of the United States in Amsterdam. So we have huge growth plans for this brand, and Europe is the perfect location to grow the Kimpton hotel and bars.
Will you do anything different with the model? Will European Kimptons be slightly different from their US counterparts, and if so, how?
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question. The Kimpton brand in Europe will definitely sit in the luxury space, and each Kimpton will be uniquely different because that's what Kimpton's all about. It's about actually understanding what will work in that city and trying to create that muse for that location. So we absolutely see a different footprint, and we've been working for the past year on taking that US model and bringing it to Europe.
And will it be a versatile brand in Europe in terms of, it can be a new build, it can be a conversion, it can be, rebadging an existing hotel? Are you going to use it across all three types?
Yeah, absolutely. Because in Europe, we have, the highest unbranded segment in the world is here. So the largest number of hotels sit in the unbranded segment. So I think there's going to be a huge opportunity to take iconic buildings, interesting stylized buildings, and we call this a boutique brand more so than a lifestyle brand today.
Which brings us on to how Kimpton will sit alongside Hotel Indigo, which is also a boutique brand. How will you decide which property fits which brand, and what do you see as the main points of difference between the two brands?
Yeah, well, Hotel Indigo is a neighborhood story, and it very clearly has an opportunity that sits just below Kimpton, definitely in the lifestyle boutique segment, but it really will take on more of a neighborhood kind of sense. So when we put a hotel in London in the Kensington area, it will feel like it needs to be in that neighborhood and not Soho or not Mayfair. Kimpton is a little bit different in that it really will create a muse of its own. And we will try to figure out exactly what that hotel needs to be for that location. And it may or may not be an extension of that particular neighborhood. So clearly a boutique brand that we think will be relevant for the kinds of people that will visit or frequent that hotel in that location. So again, clearly in the luxury end of the market.
And do you have a list of target cities for Kimpton? I mean, you mentioned London, so presumably that's on your list, but where else are you looking to bring the brand?
Yeah, here's the story. When you think about Europe, where can you not put the brand? I mean, definitely London, Paris, Berlin, as a start, Barcelona, Madrid, Tel Aviv.
And how have you found a reaction here in Berlin this week? Have you had lots of owners and investors excited about the brand?
Absolutely. I think with the company, IHG, we're buzzed about the brand. We love the brand. It's our newest child. And the feedback we're getting from investors is amazing. I mean, we've had more leads, not all of them perfect, but definitely people excited about it because that's where the industry is going. I mean, that's where in Europe, the largest growth is going to come in this segment. And we have huge plans for the brand.
Okay, and we're seeing a bit of crossover now between the boutique hotel space, the apartment space, the short-term rental sector. We've seen Hyatt and Accor, for example, invest in rental platforms. Do you think IHG might move in that direction at some point?
Well, right now we don't have plans to do that, but clearly, I mean, a lot of your hotels are underwritten by that portion, and so that's been going on in the U.S. for a long time. At this point, we have not had to go down that route. It complicates the model somewhat, but I can't say no, but today that's not our plan and we don't need to go there. We have a lot of interest today with more of a classic model, and I think we'll continue to grow in that vein until something else changes in the market, but I don't think it's going to be necessary, at least for the next 3 to 5 years. Let's just say 3 years, because 5 years in today's world is, it's a very long time, exactly.
Talking about timescales, do you have an idea in your head of how many Kimptons you might open in Europe in 2, 3, 5 years?
No, right now, actually, I want to get the first one perfectly positioned. And why don't you ask me that question at the end of the year, and I might have a better forecast for you. But right now, we're very measured. We want to get this first one right. And let me just say, I'd love to at least do 3 or 4 more this year. And then I'll give you a further projection as to where we think the brand will go.
Okay, let's catch up at the end of the year. Sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.